So I worked for the American Beverage Association in 2011, 2012, and they all hide behind these front groups. Specifically, what they were trying to do in 2011, 2012 is keep soda in food stamp spending. So food stamps are the #1 nutritional program for lower income folks. 15% of Americans depend on it. $110 billion is spent on it. And the #1 item purchased is soda.
Really?
70% of all food stamp spending go to processed food, but 10% go to sugar water, diabetes water. And if you look at any scientific study on like what's really contributed to obesity and diabetes and this chronic disease crisis we're in, it's this weaponized sugar in liquid form has really led to that. And that's 10% of all food stamp spending. So people were questioning this. Obviously, it makes no sense. It's criminal public policy because we're giving our country, obesity, diabetes, and then paying for that trillions of dollars down the road. So people were questioning that. And what Coke does is they get a bunch of consultants in the room and they have a playbook, and the playbook revolves around how do we rig, how do we pay off, how do we weaponize institutions of trust? Okay, that's and it's not that complicated. But I watched as we put together a list of prominent civil rights groups, and it was very transactional. You go into the NAACP in this case, and there was reporting in the New York Times in 2012, Coke paid millions of dollars under the American Beverage Association to the NAACP. And the conversations were shockingly transactional. It's parents are complaining and worried that their kids are drinking 100 times more sugar than they did 100 years ago. We need to label our opponents as racist and keep soda in food stamp spending. And that's exactly what the NAACP, the Hispanic Federation, other leading civil rights groups did.
And what is their argument? Their argument is if you go after the food stamp programs, then you're racist?
I think this is really important because it's not like evil conspiring, but it is like, kind of a wink, wink. It's like, hey, and it's very patronizing, actually. It's like, hey, these lower income folks, they love their Coke. It's a treat. Let's not take that Coke away from them. This is nanny state. It's ironic because they weaponize conservative language too, nanny state. But what is being questioned is the fact that government money is being paid for soda. It's actually in the opposite direction. But it's kind of that language. It's like, we're trying to tell these lower income folks what to eat and drink. Let's not do that. Not debating whether it's good for those lower income folks to be having government subsidized diabetes water, not acknowledging the point that a man in the United States who's at the lower income bracket, the lowest income bracket, dies 15 years younger than a man at the upper income bracket. I mean, that's entirely because of nutrition. And the communities are being decimated. 25% of children right now have prediabetes. And that's disproportionately impacting lower income communities of color. So of course, this is a disastrous policy for the groups they're profess to represent. But yeah, that's the type of language. We can't take away choice. So weaponizing race is just a key part of the playbook. Whenever you're trying to win a debate, it's how do we weaponize and call our opponents racist? That was in the playbook.